Once again, welcome back, my little strangelings. When it comes to the third classification of haunts or hauntings, the P originally stood for poltergeist, which is a German word for noisy ghost. But through much debate and further understanding, it is now considered something else entirely, and that it is not necessarily a haunting at all, but rather a form of paranormal activity brought about by the living. Today we call it psychokinesis or psychokinetic energy, which conveniently still starts with a P. While there are still intelligent hauntings that are considered poltergeist in nature, with moving or flying objects and opening and closing doors, windows, drawers, or faucets turning on or off, and all the trappings associated therein, true psychokinetic phenomena is much rarer and incredibly difficult to diagnose. Indeed, as a paranormal investigator, it is more than likely you will never encounter this type of activity, as the lines between an intelligent haunt and psychokinetic activity are incredibly hard, if not impossible, to decipher. To understand the difference between the two, you really need only look as far as the root cause, which is outside versus inside influence. Does the location you are in have a history of haunting and poltergeist activity? If yes, you are likely dealing with an intelligent haunting. If no, then who is located in the dwelling? Is it a family or individual? If it is a family, do they have any children or teenagers? It's still not understood why, but psychokinetic or poltergeist activity, when traced back to a living person, more often than not is traced back to a younger person or teenager, typically on the cusp of or going through puberty. Again, this phenomena is so incredibly rare, happens so seldom, that experimentation and/or help available is extremely limited. What we do know from the few and far between past documented cases is the following. 1. It is typically a young person that ranges in the age from preteen to young adult. 2. The activity is usually precipitated by a traumatic event, up to and including a sudden move, a death in the family, a divorce, or a combination of these things. It can also be precipitated by other traumatic events, but these are the most historically documented causes that we know of. The manifestation of the child or young adult's distress can be anything from flying objects to taps turning on and off to lights flickering to doors, drawers, cabinets, etc. opening, to in one particular case, whenever the young lady got upset, the popping and explosion of her grandparents' winemaking operation in the basement, from corks popping to bottles full-on exploding to carbides popping off the top. The phenomena is sometimes outgrown. However, alleviation of the phenomena around the home can be best achieved by regular therapy sessions, including cognitive behavioral therapy, where the child, teen, or young adult works through the root cause of the issues subsequently causing the phenomenon. The thing to remember about psychokinetic phenomenon is that it is an individual that is the root cause of the energy manifestations, and they cannot control it, and oftentimes is upset or frightened by it in addition to whatever trauma led to the activity manifesting in the first place. Which means that at all times, the individual and family experiencing such a phenomenon, which is utterly terrifying, must be treated with grace and compassion at all times. Remind me, my little strangelings, that I did have a brief encounter with what could potentially be this type of phenomena around 17 years ago. If you would like to hear the story, tell me and I will make you a ghost bite about it. For now, this has been the 3 classifications of hauntings: residual, intelligent, and psychokinetic.